for the care and protection of Jamaica's older persons. On the road ahead, we look forward as a government to continuing to put together initiatives such as right now we're considering, as we should know, a range of forward-looking programs, including the income tax relief for persons aged 65 and over, ensuring that they keep more of what they have earned, the introduction of priority services at all of our government offices for our seniors, and the passage of legislation, as I said, to enshrine the rights, care and protection of our seniors, in addition to exploring initiatives including making provision for older persons advocate, expanding the caregiver training for those who are helping our seniors, and importantly, simplifying the access to public benefits, in particular the life certificate, which should be at least replaced or an alternative provided through the AmAlive application. Mr. Speaker,
yeah, we want to see what will take place in the Parliament today.
Grows,
now, like and share my course, watch what go on today in the Parliament.
Senior Citizens Month reminded us
of that powerful
truth, and therefore I call on this Honourable House and the entire nation for us, each and every one of us, to champion age inclusivity in workplaces, in your communities, in your institutions, to support healthy, active aging initiatives, to encourage registration with the National Council for easier access to benefits, and to partner with the government in building a country where older persons not only live longer, but they live better. In conclusion, Mr. Speaker, colleagues, in celebrating our seniors, we celebrate Jamaica's history, our wisdom, and I dare say, our future. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security and the National Council remains unwavering in our mission to ensure our older citizens, our older persons are respected, they are protected, they are empowered, and they are connected. By fully establishing the goals of the national policy for senior citizens, we will continue to build a Jamaica where our older persons are respected, because in doing so, it's going to create a more just, equitable, inclusive, and resilient society for all. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, colleagues.
Member from St. Catherine Eastern.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I too want to join in congratulating the ministry, and not just the ministry, but all the senior citizens and their various groups throughout Jamaica who have not just taken this on because of the convention that has been signed in March, but they have been doing so over the years. And I still would want to recognize Denise Eldemeyer Shearer for her active role in this respect. And the countless of others, especially in the various parishes. I believe it's an opportune time for us to recognize that people are living longer. The age population is going to grow even larger because people are living longer, and internationally they have recognized that as well. I am of the view, though, that we need to put some things, while the activities are good and the integration of getting persons to go out into various communities, we really need to look at their well-beings. Because most of these seniors are so neglected, abused, left alone at home, and really and truly need more intervention. And I'm going to start with, especially for those who have worked in the government system and need their pension. I believe we need to put a proper timing now, when we know that these people are going to retire, that we do not let them retire and then they don't even understand how to start the process. We need public education in order that these persons will be able to enjoy their pension before they pass. And I also believe we need to start looking at those who have now gone long before, still active, still doing well, still alive, and need a livable pension. So while we want to celebrate all the different activities, I would want to look at their well-being. And I'm saying, Minister, in going forward, we really need to put a timeline in order that these pensions will be given to these persons.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
Years, and 7 years, some of them, before they can get their pensions. I mean, that is what they survive from. I want to also look at the kind of neglect sometimes, and it has to do with some of our government agencies. We need to start looking at how we look at taxes, property taxes for these elderlies. Whether, yes, we need to make sure that some of these things have become serious burden upon them. And if we really want them to live longer, and if we really want them to feel good and happy, we need to take care of their well-being. I personally believe that they have a lot to still offer. We have, in the profession, teachers, we have nurses, we have caregivers. And speaking about caregivers, could you say how far you have reached with art, the training of caregivers, and how much of them have graduated, and if they are now being assigned in communities in order for them to be able to make meaningful contribution? Overall, I believe it's a good step in the right direction. I am here as an opposition spokesperson, and I'm willing to make sure that this dream is not just a dream, but it will be realized, because a country that takes care of their elderly and their children have a good place in heaven. Thank you.
Minister, just one question for you. I noticed that your statement makes no reference to the report of the Committee of Parliament that looked at this issue of the elderly and their status and the conditions in which they live in the Jamaican society. That arose from a motion that had been brought to the Senate by Senator Professor Floyd Morris, which called for legislation to be developed to protect the elderly in this country. Your statement makes no reference either to that Committee of Parliament or its report, or indeed its origin. And I was just wondering, you speak here that a consultant is going to be procured to develop a position paper, a cabinet submission, and drafting instructions. And I was asking, my question for you is, where will the report of the committee feature in the development of that legislation? It had certain recommendations in it. Are those accepted by the government, or is it something that's going to be looked at afresh by a consultant in developing the proposals that will go to cabinet for the preparation of legislation?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Minister, I want to thank you for the report before us. The question I have really, as it relates to the same procurement of the consultant and the whole of that process, I was wondering if you could enlighten us as to how long you're expecting that to take for us to get to where we have a bill, where we have a bill. And I say that against the background, Minister, where I see this statement riddled with words like them living with dignity and those kinds of stuff. And we know that currently the choices that they have to make don't allow many to live in dignity. Often it is a choice between food and medication, between light and that kind of a thing. And I believe that whatever we are going to do, we certainly need some things in the short term that makes life easier. The spokesperson spoke already about some of what you'd like to see. So those are some of the things I'm talking about. But I believe that the time it will take is important for us to know so that we can understand what it is they're going through. And in addition to just the whole case of health care as well, yeah, and with the loneliness and the issues around mental health that we have been seeing, that is also a concern. And I'm wondering if there are some short-term measures while we wait on this process of procurement leading to a bill.
Member from St. Andrew, Western.
Minister, am I incorrect in believing that the requirement that elderlies have to be certified almost every month for this life certificate, that it is nothing more than a bureaucratic humbug? That is, am I wrong in assuming that that is nothing more than a bureaucratic humbug, and that it is time that we do something about this constant requirement of proving that they're still alive? If they're not reported at the RGD as being dead, why aren't we able to assume that they're still alive? Why do they have to keep reporting on this? And it's very burdensome because my office spends a lot of time going around trying to issue these things and to taking them to the agencies. It's very burdensome. And I believe if we want to ensure that they live in dignity, I think the time has high passed that we address this, what I view as a bureaucratic humbug.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, colleagues. Glad to see so many members interested and involved in the discussion. And let me start by saying that all of the points that have been raised are important, valued points, are restating really of the challenges which we have already identified and we agree on. So there's a mutual understanding on both sides of what is wrong. Let me just indicate, starting firstly with our spokesperson, opposition spokesperson, in relation to the public education, we are one in that regard, that there's more that is needed. That's why I'm speaking right now. That's why we have this parliamentary statement and why we continue throughout not just Senior Citizens Month, but throughout the year to continue with active engagements across the country. And let me use the opportunity to acknowledge our social workers who are out there daily across the parishes working from our and I'll just answer the other matter that was raised at the same time, that yes, it does arise from and is further to the motion, and that's something that was stated before. It's not a matter that it wasn't referenced here, it has been stated in the Parliament, and so what we're referencing now is our plans going forward. As it relates to pension, I can say to you, we are right now doing some significant work to not just identify challenges, but look on the solutions in terms of innovation, adjusting the mechanisms that are used to ensure that the process for our pensioners is as efficient and effective as possible. So it should take, on average, about 7 months for you to get your pension after you applied. That's what should be the norm. But without a doubt, there are circumstances that you can only see as an anomaly that go way beyond that 7 months. In my investigation, though, member, what we have found
I see nothing to
is that
yet,
many
so
of those cases that go
once
beyond
the war
the
go on,
average,
I'm gonna see Theif
there
in
are
boy in a
unique
parliament.
circumstances such
I'm
as
gonna see
gaps
Bigfoot girl
in the
neither.
history,
Some
in
wants
the
to war go
employment
on in
history,
a
or
night.
other things that have caused issue. But not only that, we acknowledge that there are also issues
Big up yourself.
that
Big
we
up
have
everybody
to
who check
address.
in. Beverly,
And
big
the
up yourself.
team
You hear
is
that?
working on
Barbara
that.
check in.
And that's part of why the
Big up on
innovation
yourself.
in collaboration across government in terms of I'm Alive is going to assist with what members call the bureaucratic process. Bureaucracy is not something that we want in terms of its undue impact, but bureaucracy is not always bad. Bureaucracy serves as a means of accountability, and so it's part of protecting the seniors. However, it is outdated. And we acknowledge that, and we have gone the furthest in ensuring that we not just replace it, because some seniors want to use their certificate. They want to leave their home and they want to take that journey. They want to partner with their grandson who is in the car, traveling them to the ministry. It's an experience for them. And I learned that the hard way in an outing. I learned it the hard way when I was having a meeting with a group of seniors and said to them, listen, we're going to change this. And I said, well, you're a young buck. Who tell us I don't want to go to the ministry? So what we're doing is not replacing, but providing alternatives. Because you have other seniors, like 89-year-old Pernell Charles Sr., who is constantly telling me that he has no time to do that because he is engaged in active aging. And so he would rather do that using an application. Right? So, yes. The other thing is that we have noticed. No. I tell you, that probably is the reason. Another thing, member, is that, and I think we should, at this stage, be able to appreciate this in partnership. NIDS is critical. NIDS would assist in resolving several of the issues that we have seen exposed in terms of the effective partnership with our seniors and others. Let me move on quickly. Caregivers, as was raised. If you read in this statement, you'll see that the Heart NST continues to do their training. But what we want to do is not just training. We want to develop programs that are specialized so that those persons who are trained can be accessed by our seniors and their families. And with the note, that's what we're doing right now. That's exactly what we're doing, working with them. What we have also noted, member, is that there are opportunities even outside of locally. And so a focus, there will be a focus now on caregivers, domestic workers, in terms of really refining those programs to present greater opportunities, not just for our senior citizens, but for employment for all Jamaicans.
I personally believe if we want to measure this thing, we will have to have some numbers. Do you have about how many has graduated? Because remember, that it's an established system, you know. So we want to know how many graduated and how many really in the field. So we know if it is working, because the domestic, it is almost like we are trying something again. So we want to know what you recommended. Or is it working?
Got it. So I'll get those numbers for you, because that's from another ministry. But I will endeavor to get the numbers. Let me just finish off by indicating, in terms of the paper, I think member Brown Burke raised it, in terms of the time. It would be 3 months for the position paper that we are estimating, and then it moves to cabinet, and then thereafter for drafting instructions. I wouldn't be able to give you the consequent times until we have the discussions with whoever the consultant is further to that person being identified and starting their work. And lastly, let me indicate that this evening we will have a TikTok live session inviting all senior citizens and their family members to discuss all of these issues. I want to invite the opposition spokesperson to join me, and if you do come on, I'll add you as a guest so we can have discussions on it.
Fuck you mean about TikTok
and I invite
live?
others.
So where Parliament for?
Remember Fitzjackson.
I Parliament with business to discuss. What you mean about TikTok live? That TikToker?
Get
the fuck out of here about TikTok live.
Just
we have the Parliament
to
deal with the business. What kind of fucking TikTok live you can talk about?
But seriously,
come on to this man.
Not to take up too much more time, but just to indicate that at the Ministry of Labour, we have extended our communication, and for the last 3 weeks, we have been engaging the communities on farm work, path. Last week we had a session on beyond the BPO, what are the opportunities for our young people. And in that session, what we found is a lot of our senior citizens were on, and they were asking, what happened to us, what happened to us, what happened to us. So it encouraged us to have the live today. It will be at 8 p.m. So we invite our senior citizens to join us on TikTok. Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Member from St. Catherine, Southeastern. Last. Sorry, St. Andrew, Southeastern. Southwestern.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wanted a clarification, Minister, on the response that you gave around the time frame. The time frame was one half of the question. The other half, which for me is the real question, is while that is happening, what else is going to be happening in terms of making sure that we are making progress in terms of the issues that I raised? And then as I am taking my seat, maybe it would have been good if that invitation from you to the spokesperson would have come earlier.
Minister, let us have the questions or the clarification that is being sought, from member from St. Andrews Southern.
Responded to my questions. I was just reminding him that he hadn't.
Minister.
Thank you. Just to indicate, I forgot, it's Wednesday at 8 p.m., not today. So I hope to see you on good thing you asked about it, Member Brown-Burke. But, you know, it's important to stay out of man and woman business because you assume that I haven't spoken to the member before. No, I didn't. But, but she does know that she's always welcome. And we have had discussion of you coming to join me for national discourse around the issue. So, yes, as it relates to the issues in terms of what we'll be doing in an interim, it's what we're doing right now. I want to assure you, member, and assure the country that this is a priority for us. And therefore, we have already started along the journey, not just in terms of the legislative framework, but it is coupled with the work that we're doing with HEART to see that we can establish a better pool of trained, specialized persons to take care of our elders. It's coupled with the reinforcement at the ministry and across government for better inspections and monitoring. It's coupled with the public awareness and raising of that public awareness across Senior Citizens Month. And we'll continue to engage our seniors and our society to make sure that elder care and protection is a priority. I'm not sure what matter member was saying that I did not answer. You raised a question as to the motion. Pardon? Yeah, well, maybe I didn't say it loud enough. So let me repeat. The motion, the report will inform the consequent actions of the consultant. And that's something that had been widely known. And so the issues arising from the report are particularly why we are moving now to create the legislation. So I'm not sure if there's something else you're asking, but yes, there is a connectivity and a chain of custody from that to what will become the legislation. It was raised before. I didn't think I had to repeat myself in this regard, but the country knows. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we will now take a statement from the member from St. Catherine Central, our Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports.
Member from St. Catherine Central, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise today as we table in this honorable House the Green Paper on the National Policy for Culture, Entertainment and the Creative Economy.
Long-tongue
and it's
data,
been a long time coming.
When I hear
Allow
that
me
shit
to
back
thank our
PST,
Prime Minister,
but
Dr. the Most Honorable and Your Holiness, for giving me the privilege to serve once again as the Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment
why this
and
all witch
Sport.
of Rosal? No go find
And I want to
herself
use
putting
the
on nursing home.
opportunity to welcome
Why this all witch and not going
my
to this
Minister of
Mackenzie
State,
nursing
the
home?
Honorable
What is blood
Ferencia.
clot all woman are go about conserve again? Service part again. When
I
a
want to
criminal you need
thank
to
my
come out of the
colleague
parliament.
ministers and colleague members of Parliament for
So
the
how you want to
support
take you out of parliament
thus
in a
far
wheelchair?
in bringing this
Why
policy
this criminal woman not
to
come
the
out of
stage
parliament?
that it is today.
Eh?
I also express appreciation to my ministry, led
your
by my two
scandal there
permanent
coming
secretaries, the only ministry with two permanent
Your
secretaries.
scandal there come. Your scandal there come. Here, man? There's blood clot, the
I'm
whole
a lot to
bumbo
handle,
clot,
okay?
all crosses. Now we
Mr.
parliament.
Dean Roy Bernard and Mr. Denzel Thorpe. I also want to thank my principal directors, Ms. Joanne Archibald and Mrs. Gillian McDaniel, and their respective teams, as well as the senior management team and support staff in the ministry for their dedication and steadfast efforts in the development of this policy. I also want to thank stakeholders, academia, and all those who have contributed to this green paper. And I am thanking not just on my side, but on the opposition side, because this work has been a seen input from across the cultural divide or the political divide. Mr. Speaker, this green paper will be the subject of discussion and consultation as we work together to secure for Jamaica a transformative framework which both preserves and promotes our rich culture and heritage as a priority and unlocks the full potential of Jamaica's vibrant creative sectors, driving Jamaica's cultural and creative industries into a new era of accelerated human and economic development. Mr. Speaker, this green paper's forward-looking approach places a premium on a just and cohesive society, equity and inclusivity, empowered communities, preservation of our rich heritage, respect for cultural diversity and cultural expressions. The instrument embraces and promotes innovation, as well as the leveraging of frontier technologies that power our creative economy within an ethical framework, and likewise focuses on sustainability and resilience for culture, entertainment, and the creative economy. The Green Paper we present today, Mr. Speaker, reflects a bold and visionary design shaped by ongoing consultative processes.
Peak performance starts with prioritizing rest.
Oh, go on, yes, sir. What is not this? I'm never afraid. I'm never afraid.
And sustainability of associations within the sector. Jamaica's creative economy is already a significant contributor to national development, generating over 5% of GDP and supporting nearly 3% of employment. This performance places entertainment, culture, and the creative industries alongside tourism, construction, agriculture, and other vital pillars of our economy. The impetus of this policy design, Mr. Speaker, is to accelerate sustainable socio-economic development and growth through the provision of an enabling environment for the ECCIs, with a strategic plan to address capacity building, investment needs, and infrastructure requirements, to provide for effective governance frameworks, to strengthen regimes for data collection and intellectual property protection, as well as increase public access to them, to target the elimination of barriers to trade, and to increase support to the sector in favor of safeguarding the status and mobility of the artist and anchoring sustained, vibrant, and thriving industries. Mr. Speaker, we are confident that this policy construct complementary legislative action and diligent implementation will be a critical success factor in transforming people's lives, in transforming communities, society, and the economy. This represents a key part of the government's overall strategy for achieving Jamaica's Vision 2030 and global sustainable development goals. Central to our plan, Mr. Speaker, is the establishment of the Institute for Cultural Practitioners, Innovators, Entertainers, and Creatives, which will serve as a center of innovation and excellence with culture and heritage-focused offerings, along with cutting-edge, flexible education and professional development opportunities in the wide array of creative disciplines. And this will include the arts, digital technology, archaeology, gastronomy, and so many others, heritage conservation, and many other creative entrepreneurship. The Institute for Creators and Innovators will provide the full range by leveraging local and international partnerships, envisioned to include our universities and colleges to champion human development, reinforcing the holistic nature of Jamaica's creative ecosystem. We are providing an institutional architecture that values and strengthens our cultural identity, prioritizes cultural resource management, nurtures talent, and prepares our creatives for global competition. The micro-credentialing model will allow cultural practitioners and creatives to continue to earn while upskilling to the highest levels of certification. There are many practitioners today who are excellent in their field, but they have not been certified. To complement this, the establishment of Jamaica Entertainment and Cultural Development Foundation will provide a dedicated and sustainable funding mechanism. With its status as a charity, this foundation will mobilize and direct investments from government, from the diaspora, from private donors, supporting infrastructure development, event and program-centered funding and fundraising, and institutional support, all crucial to the sector's expansion and sustainability. Mr. Speaker, the policy also treats with the sustainability and advancement mechanisms.
Yeah. I don't want them thing play up with my thing. So, I'm find something else to go and play in the meantime. Let me find something else to go and play in the meantime. Yeah.
Talk your mind, talk it. Yo. We're kind of fed up of the system, you understand? You take control. Yeah, man. Them do some things in our eyes, brethren. Free Rasta. And some people see it and afraid for talk, you know. Talk out. You understand? But we now sit down and watch certain things are going on and don't talk, you know. Yeah, we speak out. You understand? That's what the thing is. Crazy.
Find great deals on refurbished tech on eBay.
With 20 hotel brands
Hey,
and HG
I
hotels
want it for them to feel like that Jamaica keep up our way.
Simply arrive.
Market G. Tell them so we're
We
stronger
also
than
commit to
before.
strengthen our programs
PNP.
designed to ensure local
and
and international recognition of our rich, tangible, and living heritage. Building on inscriptions Jamaica has received, including the last year, the revival pilgrimage to Wat Town and their archaeological landscape of 17th century Port Royal, and protections and other benefits to be derived from ratification of international conventions. Another important feature, Mr. Speaker, is also the intention to fully institute a robust disaster risk management strategy that ensures we are responsive to the increasing effects of climate change. It provides for leveraging frontier technologies such as artificial intelligence and digital tools to empower creatives and protect our unique cultural identity that defines and fuels brand Jamaica.
Mr. Speaker, the time for speaking having expired, we ask that it be extended for 5 minutes to allow the member to complete.
The request is on the floor. Those in favor? Those against, the ayes have it. Minister, you may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We are determined that our creatives, cultural communities, cultural institutions, and entertainment stakeholders receive the support needed and are ultimately empowered to flourish and shine at home and on the world stage. This green paper is more than a policy document. It is a foundation for other dedicated culture and entertainment-related sub-policies, as well as guidelines, and a blueprint for a thriving, innovative Jamaica where culture, entertainment, and the creative economy are measured, valued, and cherished as vital forces for Jamaica's well-being and sustainable prosperity. As we present this green paper today, Mr. Speaker, we do so in recognition of the many years of dedicated work that have brought us to this point on both sides, enriched by wide-ranging consultations with cultural experts, creative practitioners, and stakeholders across Jamaica and beyond. I want to use the opportunity to thank UNESCO, for example, who has provided funding to assist us in our consultations and our workshops. This green paper phase provides an important opportunity to engage further. That is why it is a green paper. To listen carefully and refine our collective vision to ensure it reflects the hopes and aspirations of all Jamaicans, And we look forward to this final part of the process and acknowledge it as fundamental to securing the necessary broad-based support and an effective implementation pathway. Together with well-structured support, strategic investment, and innovation, we will elevate Jamaica's creative industries to new heights of global prominence and sustainable prosperity. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, the Green Paper we lay before this House today charts a future where our people and culture are at the heart of economic transformation, social cohesion, and national pride. This Green Paper is not for any one of us to grandstand, but for us to work together, because when it comes to our culture, when it comes to our sports, which we refer to as physical culture, there is no divide. It's about one people charting a path to our success as Jamaica, the Jamaica brand, is the best brand in the world. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Get out of here and sit yourself down. Witch of Rosal. Christy, where you are? Big up yourself, and Christy.
Member from South St. James.
Delroy, check in. This Witch of Rosal are going like she are going with something. Get out of here.
Mr. Speaker, as I rise on this maiden speech in this honorable House, I wish to thank the people of South St. James who chose me to be their voice in this honorable House. I want to commend the Honorable Minister for tabling this Green Paper, Auntie Babsy. I know it's not proper to refer to you as that, but you have a history of working in this portfolio, and I take particular note of the fact that you acknowledged the opposition's participation over the years in building out the body of this work. A Green Paper is but the first step, and so we welcome it. It's really disadvantageous to me that I'm unable to go through it just now, but I promise you that I will spend the next couple of days to go through it and make it available to the constituents in South St. James and those who support us through our task force to ensure we have the information to better respond to what you have put together for us here today. I want to say first and foremost that a lot of green papers don't often end in white papers and then into legislation, but I have very good hopes for this one. I hope that you know that the opposition will not challenge anything that will give power to the creative industries in Jamaica and the cultural sector. You see, our creativity is one of Jamaica's greatest source of strength,
long time.
Identity, and influence.
And
And anything that attempts to package that in a way that those who serve the industry benefit will have our support. I note that UNESCO is one of those agencies or entities that you have listed as providing some financial support to this project. We would like to know how much that is and how it will be used and how we can deepen the consultative process. Because no policy that is to serve the creative industry that doesn't get the voice of the creatives, the drummers, the Dinky Mini people, the Kumina people, the church people, speaking as a pastor's daughter myself, those craft vendors, those stilt walkers in Farm Retrieve in South St. James, those Maroons in Flagstaff in South St. James, Sam Sharp's descendants over there in Croydon, in Catadupa, then if our voice is missing from this, it will not truly reflect the best foot forward for Jamaica.
Hey,
Culture is
I like
powerful.
this.
Culture is a legacy that we have to give to our children. Culture is how we give meaning to our voice, to who we are, to our identity. And I will look towards another opportunity to speak more fulsomely to this. Know, though, that we have a throng of people who will be providing ourselves, making ourselves available for the consultations when you provide the forum for that. Thank you very much.
Well said, well said, well said. Can I get a round of applause? Well said. Pastor Data, big up yourself.
Member from St. Andrew Southern.
Christopher Tufton, should I hear? Where is Christopher Tufton?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And
I want to Theif friend.
Congratulate the member for South St. James for her maiden
I like it. Big up yourself. One Marky J. I like it to me impress. She sound like she didn't have a long time.
Minister, congratulations on the tabling of the Green Paper. And thank you for acknowledging the work of the opposition over many years in contributing.
Big up yourself, my Prime Minister. One Marky J. Big up yourself, my boss.
Green Paper.
Who don't like it was dropped down and dead. One Marky G for me. Cheryl, big up yourself. Eminem, monsieur. Fire C, monsieur. One Marky G for me. Who don't like it just drop asleep and don't wake up.
Dynamic and content-full responses to what is presented by way of policy in this Green Paper that will ultimately lead to the finalization of what actually takes place. Legislatively, yes, but also institutionally. There's reference here to a charitable foundation to be established. You know, what will that look like? What will be the governance arrangements around it, the accountability structures and so on, and all the other facets that are in this. You know, how will the finalization of those things take place, and what is the time frame for rolling that out? So I think, you know, I'd love to hear a bit more from you on the consultation process, the input process, now that this Green Paper has been tabled.
Well said, my boss.
Member from Northwest St. Catherine.
No. I see the speaker was trying to find which constituency I was speaking on behalf today. My first concern is really, yes. No, well, on the extension of the family. No, I am concerned that the family has extended to another auntie. I thought I was the only nephew. So I am wondering, yes. Okay, I'll accept no further extension to the family. But indeed, I must also congratulate you and celebrate you for your commitment to the entertainment industry and to the cultural industry as well. I have a few questions just to ensure that they are considered for future conversation as we move forward. The first starts with the entertainment registry. There has been an unfortunately low take-up relative to the number of persons who are practitioners. Right, so please, and also, what are the plans to take the registry to the people, as in have community calls, etc., because of the vast disperse of entertainment practitioners across the country? Are there plans to take the registration out into the communities so as to drive registration? You have highlighted a lot of the benefits that it has. Secondly, in those community engagements, the plans to promote the entertainment tools of trade. Quite a few practitioners are still unaware that they can benefit from tax reliefs from importation of tools of trade, extended from only the movies and now into all aspects of entertainment. And very few have taken up the full advantage of that, and therefore the communication. As we know, the vast majority in numbers of events are not large events. A lot of round robin.
Harry Strong, Andrew and Juliet Wallace and Tufton and Hyde from Parliament.
Community entertainment zones as versus just large space.
You know, she said they might hide from Parliament. Hide, you know.
Are there plans to...
Them plan to not show up to the Juliet Wallace, Andrew Wallace, Christopher Tufton and
from
Stink
that
Dirty Harris
exemption
Strong. You
and
know, see them in
based
the
on
Parliament.
that exemption. Another question is the
Fly high,
systems
fly
of
low, you
protection.
know.
We have
Shit
seen
bag.
many of our dances, for
You don't
example,
have to come in front
on
of the
stages
Parliament.
of individuals no less than Beyonce.
So you could hide
Dirty Wine
this,
was
you don't
at
have to
the
come in the Parliament.
NFL Super Bowl.
So you can go and
And
hide.
the inventor of Dirty Wine was not acknowledged, nor Dirty Wine for the purpose of Parliament. but the inventor was not acknowledged, worse yet benefited financially from the what some would call piracy of our free-to-use cultural appropriation. And so there seems to be a need to extend the benefit from the immediate fashionability of it and the immediate excitement around it so that it extends further. And there needs to be a greater push for protection. The musicians have caught on and are seeking that protection, but there are other aspects of entertainment that they are not able to at this time. You spoke glowingly that entertainment should be, and rightfully so, compared to things such as tourism. And by extension, I'm hoping that we will be hearing about the Entertainment Enhancement Fund, in short order, similar to what we have for the Tourism Enhancement Fund, for the promotion of entertainment, the building of venues, and also the upgrade of venues. However, we should be very careful that we don't exaggerate some of the earnings that we are seeing here. For example, I see here Sumfest with an estimate of 7 days of spending for the average Jamaican, 16,000 Jamaicans in attendance. Sumfest on average is 2 days, maximum 3 days. And most of those persons would not be having a week of activity. So sometimes these exaggerated numbers may lead to policy directions that might not be sufficient. Additionally, while I see $49,000 per day for the visitor, one would presume that that also includes the room. And we're sure when Minister Ed Bartlett is here, that will also be counted as tourism as well. And they tripled when Ed is here, but that is something that we must be careful of as we move forward to indicate what aspects of spend are to be attributed to tourism and what aspects are spend are to be attributed to entertainment. I would posit that as tourism promotes itself as a key attractor, more of the spend should be contributed to the key attractor. And maybe that $20, Minister Grange, you can make a lobby effort for that TEF in those periods to come over to the ministry. The final two questions, the last one, sports as entertainment. In this list, I didn't see sporting activities registered as entertainment activities. And there is indeed sport and the opportunities for sport to create entertainment and generate income. And we have seen some of that with cricket when it was at its highest point, and we have seen it with football and track.
Just so you know, you're on your feet asking questions, not to make a presentation.
I have not made a presentation.
All right? So, no.
Well, but there was no content.
So you know, you are here, you are not the opposition spokesperson. You're a member, you ask questions. I agree with you that you had a number of questions. But when you start to make a presentation, that's when I will check and I will rule. So you will now end with, you say you have two last questions. Let's hear your last questions. Sorry, the next member, can you just turn your mic off, please? Go ahead now.
I think that was a preemptive strike by the speaker, but that's fine.
You use your time wisely.
The control was discussed. But Mr. Speaker, I'm saying that sports is a viable form of entertainment for which I did not see included, and I'm wondering if that will be included. I was making some examples of types of sports, such as promotion of cricket or the promotion of football as entertainment, not only for the qualification process, but as a source of entertainment to be consumed and also to have visitors to visit. We know that there are some diasporas, for example, Indian diaspora in proximity in the United States, that cricket in Jamaica could be a viable option and opportunity for the consumption of cricket, and I wanted to know if that was involved. So that was really a question. And the final question that I had here, Mr. President, having thrown me off, Mr. Speaker, you see, I get less stress downstairs, but that is all right. Mr. Speaker, is HEART and the role that HEART is expected to play moving forward in the entertainment industry, in the establishment of a reasonable back of the stage core, but also in the promotions and the front of the stage activities. So those are things that I really wanted to ensure are considered moving forward as we move from green paper to white paper.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Just quickly, Minister, I want to join in congratulating you on returning to your I think you're going to be for life. that ministry. But honestly, I want to congratulate you on returning to that ministry and to continue the work that you have been doing. I want to find out, though, from you if the historic foundation is still in existence. Historic foundation, right. Because I am a little concerned, Mr. Speaker, that when we speak, we are now more inclined with the entertainment and the creative industry and all of that. But the preservation of our history, I do not see any emphasis being placed. And I am in a constituency that has a wealth of history that we would want to harness and to use, just as how you want financial gains from the others, to be able not just for the monetary gains, but to empower and to educate our young minds more so that is coming up. And I would like to see more emphasis being placed. And I would want to also find out if there is anything being done in terms of a partnership between us and Spain in regards to getting any kind of assistance in building out some of these recommendations that we have in this green paper. Thank you.
Big up yourself finally here, right?
Member from Eastern Portland.
Sharon, Mr. Big up yourself. We look good in our parliament, man, I like.
Mr. Speaker, Minister, I would like to join in congratulating you on your green paper. My question, my two-part question to you is one first of access and the second of public education. I appreciate that ministries sometimes overlap. So, you know, the questions would be asked from another ministry. I did peruse your green paper in its entirety. What I found absent, which is just a strengthening, is the access component. There are persons who are practitioners that don't know they're practitioners. For instance, a Maroon from Moortown who is also a rafter. He doesn't know that his rich knowledge makes him a practitioner with his history about heritage and culture. I didn't see the aspect of public education that would allow a practitioner to identify himself as a practitioner so he can get access.
For the Wilson family.
Hey, Isaac, the man start off on a vibe, but I stream this thing here. And then advertisement I go on, I try override it for a second.
Sing that song loud and proud. This is Crazy J DJ.
Whenever they want to get better at something, or when they're up against the wall, Superpop has
like the stone.
We are like the stone. We are like the stone that the builder is here.
But just to say that I appreciate the thought, the mature consideration that came through the paper. I will read it fulsome, but having speed read or read, I will just say that if that is something that would come to fruition when it gets to the white paper stage, you recognize the power of your ministry to protect both the heritage, which is the land aspect, and how it intersects with who are the practitioners. And I look forward to your response on that. Thank you.
Member from St. Anne Southeastern.
Well said, my boss. One Isaac Buchanan, Emmanuel, big up yourself. One Isaac Buchanan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I too join in congratulating the minister and her team. But this being my maiden contribution question, I too wish to thank, contribution by way of question, wish to also thank the people of my constituency, Southeast St. Anne, for sending me here to represent them. Minister, it would be, Minister, I think it would be remiss of us not to acknowledge what has happened in the last week and a half or so, and I don't mean the elections. I mean the Oxford English Dictionary. Yes, brought up, say, Bulla, and some of what we're hearing, Carrigo Brinkham, added to the Oxford English Dictionary. And that again emphasizes the power of what we're talking about here today. So it also leads me to the question, Minister. Too often our people are the performers. Too often our people, especially in rural areas, them get a bus and then them find themselves exactly where they were in the beginning. And so the question is, how are we ensuring that through this work, the local communities, our people are protected, and that we also invest in the spaces, in the talents, so that they can have a profession from this industry and are not just seen as providing entertainment, providing that temporary relief for those who come to visit or for those who want to experience our culture. And here I'm talking about our rural communities especially, but also our persons with disabilities. This sector can be quite exclusionary, if you will. It excludes some of our communities. And so I'd want us to be thinking about that and wish to hear your thoughts on how we're considering that in this paper. Thank you.
Member from Clarendon Northern.
Boy, you're right. Have a whole heap of
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Our side pack up now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just to say, I want to add my voice of congratulations to the minister. A relationship that started while I was playing and you were my minister.
Big up
I am
yourself.
now on the other side.
The cricketer.
Looking to bowl to you in no uncertain way. I scanned through your green paper and I saw maybe a one page on sports. My question is, I want to know if you are treating sports as a part of the creative economy, or you're going to be treating sports as a standalone. And if so, we will have a full consultation with all the practitioners in the sport industry, not in a piecemeal fashion,
but in a wholesome fashion so that we can get a better understanding of the value of sports to our society and to, of course, the economy. The second part of it is how do we treat with labor as it relates to this, and if the legislation will support this document to ensure that creative persons and sportsmen and women are treated formally in our society so that they can enjoy the benefits of the society, going to the NHT, getting a mortgage, of course, having a good health plan, and so they can participate.
May I go address something for a bit? The People's National Party is in deep concern. How comes the Integrity Commission report leaked to nationwide? Just like how them leak for Andrew Wellness one, and how them leak for Christopher Tufton one. So if them things say, them are going to pull off no stunt this time around, nationwide have to lock down from broadcasting to the people them. And the Indian boy they have to run to go back to India. If they ever feel like so they can't come with no hanky-panky this time around, nationwide have to go lock blood clot down out of Jamaica. Because he's a threat to the democratic process of Jamaica. Here, pussy. You dirty nation, Cliff Hughes. You have to seize and desist from blood clot broadcasting in Jamaica. If you're not trying on fuckery, or you get report. You work at Parliament. Now the 3 numbers somebody supposed to get this report. But nationwide have it to put it out. Alright. We're not trying on fuckery. We're not trying on fuckery.
In society in a wholesome way, and not like they are on the side as sports persons are often treated. And before I close, Mr. Speaker, I'll ask you the permission to thank my people of North Clarendon for reposing their trust and belief in me so that I can sit in the House. I thank you.
Tufton on the investigation, you know. Investigation Tufton on the, you know. You know, seen in a Parliament today. And Dirty Andrew and a Bigfoot girl and Harris Chang. But I want to see where them all cook up with and come now. Because if them feel say we're done, we're just ready for them, you know. If them things say we're done, we just a come. Tell on somebody go on them, you know. Tell them say we just a come, you know.
Member from St. Catherine South Western.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think we're starting on the wrong footing. And I think we are setting a very bad example for the young members who just came in.
All right.
The issue is, a statement by a minister is, I think, limited to 20 minutes, and the opposition spokesperson limited to 5. Then others can ask questions. What I've observed is that everybody making a statement or a speech or presentation. Mr. Speaker, we start out wrong, badly. So you need to rein them in. Whereby statements are, what am I doing?
This is
I'm
getting
trying to educate you.
Like and share.
I'm trying to educate you on the rules of this House. Mr. Speaker, I'm calling you to put some discipline on the floor. Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order.
Like and share.
You need to rein in the members.
Member.
Oh no, so I go on. Jaja's son, where are you? Then switch off every Wilmington mic.
Member.
Then switch off your mic. Sharon, then switch off your mic.
You have raised a point of order. Let me hear your point of order.
You can't do that to every.
My point of order, Mr. Speaker. Point of order.
Yo, this one is a real
is that
you know, man.
A statement by minister can only be when a council opposition can ask questions, not making statements themselves. The opposition spokesperson have 5 minutes. The others just ask a question but not making statement. You need to teach them, particularly the one from South Manchester, what the rules of this house.
Everyone want to fiery, you know.
Announcement. Sorry. Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm excited about the excitement that this has created. But I would say that I appreciate the contribution made. The fact that this is a green paper, you know, the input of persons within the House and outside of the House. I will be guided if it will be a joint select committee or it will be the human resource committee, but that is to be determined. But the opportunity will exist for the inputs to be made. And I'm really happy that everyone is really excited about this. Just a couple of quick points. The soft copy should be available to you as we speak, right? So you will have access to the soft copy.
But you should have give them the soft copy before you even make this presentation about Z.
Blue Lagoon.
What are you doing?
When we talk about access, and I know the concerns you have had, you know, and you as the new member of Parliament, you will be looking keenly to see what is going to happen there. But we have to ensure that we put order in what we do. And so this document will provide the guidelines, the framework within which we operate. And public education, yes, is important. And that will be a critical part of this program as well. I also want to indicate that sports, we refer to it as physical culture. And it's not about one page. There is so much more that is in this framework, that sports is entertainment as well. And so sports will be treated and has been treated as a
context matter and
also
context matter
integrated in the overall entertainment and culture and creative and innovative policy that we present. For example, sports has its own, in the sport practitioners, they have their own insurance plan. Entertainers and cultural communities have their own insurance plan. The maroon communities, they are on the e-registry, and there is a sports registry as well. So we do treat them separately, but we also have the collaboration between the areas, because overall it's about our creative spirit and our creative output. Now, one last thing, because I shouldn't be making another speech. But I just want to say that heritage sites are important. And the Jamaica National Heritage Trust, which is responsible to treat with the built heritage, on that board would be representatives from the Historical Society, the Georgian Society, and all the relevant bodies. And our
Babs, I'm not cutting in Babs, there's a talk about heritage site. So over St. Anne's over there, so now, where Marcus Garvey, the heritage site, they were Andrew Jones give to the Chinese, where them have a shop down a place, a clear the land, a destroy the heritage site. More really hear what you have to say about that.
Built heritage is extremely important. And so, as we move forward with this framework, I look forward to our creative people being empowered. And for us, data collection is very much a part of this. And it's important we have empirical data so we can inform government as to our contribution to the economy and be respected for what we contribute. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Announcements.
Laid on the table of the House are the following. Annual report of the National Education Trust for the financial year 2019-2020. Annual report on audited financial statements of the Rural Water Supply Limited for the financial year 2021-2022. Annual report on audited financial statements of the Sports Development Foundation for the calendar year 2022. Independent Fiscal Commission statement on fiscal performance for the financial year 2024-2025. Annual report of the Northeast Regional Health Authority for the financial year 2010-2011, and its related ministry paper number 42 of 2025 entitled Annual Report of the Northeast Regional Health Authority for the financial year April 2010 to March 2011. Green paper numbered 1 of 2025 entitled National Policy for Culture, Entertainment and the Creative Economy 2025 to 2035. The Independent Commission of Investigations Special Investigative Report, Planned Police Operations dated October 2025. Integrity Commission's investigation report into concerns that Ms. Keisha Lewis, councillor at the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation, failed to file her statutory declarations with the Integrity Commission for the years 2019, 2020, and 2022, and its indicative ruling. Integrity Commission's investigation report into concerns that Mr. Roger Curlew, former councillor at the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation, failed to file his statutory declarations with Integrity Commission for the years 2019, 2020, and 2022, and its indicative ruling. Integrity Commission's investigation report into concerns that Mr. Rowan Hall, a councillor employed to the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, failed to file his statutory declaration with the Integrity Commission for the year 2019 and its indicative ruling. Integrity Commission's report of investigation concerning allegations of procurement irregularities and conflict of interest in the award of contracts to Market Me Consulting Limited by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Thank you.
Call his name, Christopher Tufton. Call his name, Christopher Tufton.
Bills brought from the Senate.
Why you don't want to call
Petitions.
his name?
Papers.
Christopher Tufton.
Report from committees. Notice of motion given orally.
Angela, big up yourself. Call his name, Dr. Christopher Tufton.
Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice that at the next meeting of the House, I will move to introduce and have read the first time a bill short entitled the Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Act 2025. And just to indicate to the House, Mr. Speaker, that I'm hoping to start the debate next week. I'll be very happy if persons participate in the debate. So even though I will open next week, those who would like to participate next week can participate. I won't close next week, but I would expect, I know around everywhere, everybody wants expungement and they harass everybody. So please have a look at the bill and then we can debate it starting next week. But I really would like to close by the end of the month.
Mr. Speaker, I beg you to give notice that at the next meeting of the House, I will move the following motions. Be it resolved that in accordance with Section 67(2) of the Constitution of Jamaica, this Honourable House appoints a standing committee of the House comprising of the following members. The Most Honourable Juliet Holness, Honourable Andrew Wheatley, Mr. C. Everall Warmington, Honourable Delroy Williams, Mr. Fitz Jackson, Dr. Dayton Campbell, Ms. Denise Daly, to keep under continuous review the number of constituencies into which Jamaica is to be divided and the boundaries of such constituencies. Be it resolved that notwithstanding Standing Order number 68.3 and in accordance with the Standing Orders numbers 68.1E and 73, this Honourable House appoints a Regulations Committee comprising of the following members: the Honorable Franklin Whittle, the Honorable Donovan Williams, the Honorable Tova Hamilton, Mr. Andrew Morris, Honorable Rhoda Crawford, Mr. Philip Paulwell, Mr. Isaac Buchanan, Ms. Zulika Jess. Be it resolved, notwithstanding Standing Order number 68.3 and in accordance with Standing Orders number 68.1G and 73B, this Honorable House appoints an Internal and External Affairs Committee comprising of the following members: the Honorable Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, Mr. Dwayne Smith, the Honorable Alanda Terlong, Mr. Heroy Clark, Mr. Fitz Jackson, Ms. Zulika Jess, Dr. Kenneth Russell, the Honorable Delano Sivright. Be it resolved, notwithstanding Standing Order number 68.3 and in accordance with Standing Orders numbers 68.1L and 73E, this Honorable House appoints an Ethics Committee comprising the following members: Mrs. Marlene Malahou Fort, the Honorable Franklin Whittle, the Honorable Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, Mr. Andrew Morris, Honorable Crystal Lee, Mrs. Natalie Nita Garvey, Miss Andrea Perkis, and Mr. Anthony Hilton. Be it resolved that notwithstanding Standing Order number 68.3 and in accordance with Standing Orders numbers 68.1I and 73C, this Honorable House appoints the Human Resources and Social Development Committee comprising of the following members: Mr. Dwayne Smith, the Honorable Crystal Lee, the Honorable Kerencia Morrison, Mr. Andrew Morris, the Honorable Rhoda Moy Crawford, Mr. Damian Crawford, Miss Yvonne Rosemary Shaw, Dr. Alfred Dawes. Be it resolved, notwithstanding Standing Order number 68.3 and in accordance with the Standing Orders numbers 68.1J and 73C, this Honorable House appoints an Infrastructure and Physical Development Committee comprising of the following members: Mr. Heroy Clark, Mr. James Robertson, Mr. Dwayne Smith, the Honorable Franklin Whittle, the Honorable Delroy Williams, Mr. Ian Hales, Mr. Richard Azan, Mr. Dennis Gordon. Be it resolved that notwithstanding Standing Order 68.3 and in accordance with Standing Orders number 68.1H and 73C, this Honorable House appoints an Economy and Production Committee comprising of the following members: the Honorable Alanda Terlong, the Honorable Donovan Williams, the Honorable Delano Sivright, the Honorable Tova Hamilton, the Honorable Xavier Main, the Honorable Kerencia Morrison, Mr. Anthony Hilton, Dr. Dayton Campbell, Mr. Mikhail Phillips, Mr. Fitz Jackson.
So you know, say
Be it resolved
what a shit
that
bag.
in
So
accordance with Standing Orders numbers 68.1D and 72, this Honorable House appoints a Committee of Privileges comprising the following members: the Most Honorable Juliet Holness, the Honorable Donovan Williams, the Honorable Franklin Whittle, Mr. Heroy Clark, the Honorable Crystal Lee, Mr. Omar Newell, Mr. Dennis Gordon, Ms. Yvonne Rosemary Shaw. Be it resolved that notwithstanding Standing Order 68.3 and in accordance with Standing Orders numbers 68.1A and 69, this Honorable House appoints the Public Accounts Committee comprising the following members: Mr. Julian Robinson, Honorable Frank Whittle, the Honorable Xavier Main, Mr. Heroy Clark, the Honorable Tova Hamilton, the Honorable Delano Sivright, Mr. Peter Bunting, Mr. Lowton Cousins, Miss Heather Miller, Mr. Christopher Brown, Mr. Dennis Gordon, the Honorable Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, Honorable Kerencia Morrison. Be it resolved that notwithstanding Standing Order 68.3 and in accordance with Standing Order number 68.1F and 73A, this Honorable House appoints a Public Administration and Appropriations Committee comprising of the following members: Mr. Peter Bunting, Mr. Andrew Morris, Mr. Heroy Clark, the Most Honorable Juliet Holness, Honorable Delroy Williams, the Honorable Marissa Dalrymple Filbert, Mr. C. Everett Warmington, the Honorable Crystal Lee, Mr. Mikhail Phillips, Ms. Nikisha Birchall, Mr. Omar Newell, Mr. Damian Crawford, Mr. Waver Hines. Be it resolved that notwithstanding Standing Order number 68.3 and in accordance with Standing Order number 74, this Honorable House appoints a special select committee comprising of the following members: the Most Honorable Juliet Holness, Honorable Marissa Dalrymple Filbert, Honorable Juliet Cuthbert Flynn, the Honorable
Stephen Dalrymple,
Honorable Donovan
Filbert,
Williams,
Honorable
Mr. Heroy Clark, Mrs. Natalie Nita Garvey.
Hey, if you stop the fuckery, no dog. Nobody with the fucker, man. Which Honorable Dalrymple, Filibert? Which part of Dalrymple, Honorable? You have stop this, you have tap them a fucker, brother. You have say the thief, the former thief in House Speaker. Which part of Dalrymple, Honorable? That you tell you know, that is why I can't rate him, you know. Because in the in live and I sent in with you, you know. We say, yo, inform for Andrew, you know. Like, just tell what you know about Andrew. Because we know, say Andrew a thief, you know. And laugh, you fucking did that one football match. I sent Elizabeth for TikTok live. And me and my wife go on it. I make my wife go on it on fear page. And I say, text him and tell him, say, yo, we know say Andrew a thief, and we know say you know. And he read the text and call out at half of the press name. And he look on you and laugh. I say, you can't tell me, say, just can't tell me say Andrew a thief. We don't make nobody know say, how you tell me. Because we know say, you know say Andrew a thief, you know. And laugh. We just read and laugh. And did that one football match. Look a bit before election, that fucker. And I can talk about Honorable Dalrymple. Which part of Dalrymple, Honorable? Dirty Roscoe Dalrymple, Honorable. Hey, don't bother with the ear, sir.
Miss Denise Daly, Mr. Dwayne Vaz. Be it resolved that notwithstanding Standing Order 68, and that is to examine and recommend for approval proposed estimates for constituency projects submitted to the Constituency Development Fund for respective members of Parliament. Be it resolved that notwithstanding Standing Order 68.3 and in accordance with Standing Orders numbers 68.1c and 71, this Honourable House appoints the House Committee comprising of the following members: the Honourable Floyd Green, the Most Honourable Juliet Holness, Mr. Heroy Clark, the Honourable Robert.
When your primary...
Hold up. What are you doing? Can't do that. Can't do that. I have to play back some tune and fix that thing there.
Well, this is the original Talk Your Mind TV. I'm Crazy J representing every time. Talk Your Mind, make them move. I'm Mr. Circle, talk your mind because you come for chat it up. Chat about Jamaica when the government mash up. Circle, talk your mind because you're well dangerous. I me say corruption, I lick and italic. Me say corruption, I lick, talk your mind, talk it. Me say corruption, I lick and italic.
Hello, 3-9. We not work with no thief around here. No time.
If this Honourable House appoints a caucus of women parliamentarians comprising all female members of Parliament to sit jointly with a similar committee to be appointed by the Senate. Mr. Speaker, I further beg to give notice that at a later stage today, I will move for the suspension of standing orders to enable me to take these motions.
Questions and answers to questions. Motions that may be made at the commencement of public business requiring notice. Motion relating to sitting of the House. Motion for leave to introduce bills. Presentation of bills without leave of the House first obtained. Public business. House Leader.
A lie. Desmond Mackenzie Rich.
Mr. Speaker.
Dirty Harris Chink Rich too.
I now move for the suspension of the standing orders to enable me to take the motions, notice of which
look on side chicken
earlier.
Hey, you see the side chicken when you see up at top there, one day in the blue. And somebody who I know personally, you know. From she younger. I know her when she younger. Yeah, I know her personally. The side chicken up at top in the blue. I know her personally when she younger. Believe when I tell you, I know her long time. Not the 90s. to early 2000. Yeah, I know her from long time. The side chicken up at top there, I know her. Andrew side chicken.
The question is that the standing order be suspended to enable the minister to take the motion, notice of which he gave earlier. Those in favor? Those against? Ayes have it. Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I will use this time just to indicate, as I have gone through the list of the various committees, just to indicate the chairmanship in relation to the various committees that have been outlined. And a number of them are prescribed in accordance with the standing orders. The standing committee of the House, which looks at the constituencies, which is section 67, Chair the Most Honorable Juliet Holness. The Regulations Committee, the Honorable Franklin Whittle. Internal and External Affairs Committee, the Honorable Juliet Cuthbert Flynn. The Ethics Committee, Mrs. Marlene Malahou Fort. The Human Resources and Social Development Committee, Mr. Dwayne Smith. The Infrastructure and Physical Development Committee, Mr. Heroy Clark. The Economy and Production Committee, the Honorable Orlando Terrelong. The Privileges Committee, the Most Honorable Juliet Holness. The Public Accounts Committee, Mr. Julian Robinson. The Public Administration and Appropriations Committee, Mr. Peter Bunting. The Special Select Committee for Constituency Development Fund, the Most Honorable Juliet Holness. The House Committee, the Honorable Floyd Green. The Standing Orders Committee, the Most Honorable Juliet Holness. And the Private Bills Committee, the Most Honorable Juliet Holness. And the Caucus of Women Parliamentarians, the Honorable Olivia Grange.
Yes, we can debate. That's fine. Mr. Speaker, the
I want to take a good look on Terlang. Terlang in a parliament with the hand akimbo like girl. Look on Terlang, sit down. And look on Miss Terlang, sit down. Eh? I want to take a good look on Miss Terlang, sit down. Eh? Terlang have Hannah Kimbo in a parliament. What a life. Look on these fishers of men. Look at these fishers of men. Terlang sit down with Hannah Kimbo in a parliament. This is embarrassing, you know?
Minister, having tabled and put the various motions, I would just like to respond. And I will start by reminding the House that when we first met as a new parliament, the Speaker was emphatic that this term we are going to abide by the standing orders. And we support that fully. And we are looking forward to the work of the Standing Orders Committee, because we have already given signal from last term that there were some areas that we want to strengthen, especially in relation to the role of the opposition, questions and answers. We believe that that has not conformed to good democratic practice over the past.
Yes.
And especially also in relation to private members' motions. And I was very pleased that the Speaker, in anticipation of that work, announced that we had gotten some international assistance. And at our first meeting, we expect to see a draft of those proposals. So as the leader of government business undertake this work of appointing committees, I want to make sure that we are, in fact, keeping in line with the standing orders. The minister was on the right footing when he first started to read out the membership of the committees. Because in the first readout, he did not name the chairman. And that is in accordance with the standing orders. But at the end, he went back and announced, chairman of committees, that the standing orders quite deliberately and explicitly refer to the appointment or the election of chairman at the first meeting of the committees. And so, Minister, I don't think it's appropriate for us at this point to be voting in relation to the chairman of committees. But I also, in that regard, and as we anticipate that the chairmanship will revert to the committees to determine, I want to remind the government and the House that there had developed a practice, good practice started by Prime Minister Bruce Golding, where those committees that were regarded as oversight committees, to promote transparency, to ensure the separation of powers, which is a fundamental principle under which we operate. Fundamental principle. That those committees would be chaired by the opposition. And it was a deliberate move on the part of Mr. Golding. In fact, he didn't come here and announce the chairmanship. He instructed his members in the committee that when they first met, they would elect an opposition member to chair those committees. And it worked well in the period when he was Prime Minister, when the House shifted and we became government. It was continued and it was lauded by the then opposition. And then in 2016, it continued under the current Prime Minister. And then all of a sudden, in 2020, it stopped. And at the time when it was stopped, we were told that, well, we weren't meeting the mark as chairman, which is not true. And that because you had so many members, you want to make sure that they were active.
Thank you.
What have we found since 2020 to the end of the last session? The inactivity was glaring, absolutely glaring, absolutely glaring. And I am using this opportunity to ask the government to reflect on this position. It's a fundamental position.
Thank you. All of them mind and think of 14 somebody we have in a parliament, you know.
It's a fundamental position. And it is not in breach of the standing orders, because the standing orders allow the members to determine who they want to chair. But it's a policy, and it has to be based on greater principle of openness, accountability, and a full separation of powers, checks and balances. So we want to bring that to the attention of the government.
Thank you very much.
And that when these committees do meet, we are going to be forceful in advancing that position for the chairmanship to reside in the opposition on behalf of the people of Jamaica. There is a third and probably the most fundamental issue. We speak about the separation of powers doctrine. And that is not only theory, it is the safeguard of our democracy. And the standing orders were very clear when they were first promulgated that there is a role for ministers, but there's a role for the executive. And who are the executive? Cabinet ministers, ministers of state, and parliamentary secretary. And it was never the intention for these three groupings of executive members to be a part of oversight over themselves. Right? And this notwithstanding this done in
listen how we party sound in a parliament.
It is improper for ministers to be a part of the oversight.
Thank you very much.
Of these committees, and it is totally unacceptable.
Thank you. Look how we sound in a parliament now. Look how we sound all in a flight green head and them things they are 14 somebody might talk to again, you know. I know you can't come to reality, you know.
Try to ensure that there is greater reaching across the aisle.
Thank you.
And working together for the interests of Jamaica. We believe that these principles I have enunciated must be preserved.
Of course.
We're going to hold fast.
Of course. Of course. Well said. Can this guy get a round of applause? Well said.
Before you...
All in a flag green head and things they are still the 14 and the opposition side them have to deal with. So I think things come in a parliament.
Before you go, I just want to bring it to the House attention that the consultant from the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association has completed a draft of amendment to the standing orders, and this will be presented to the Standing Order Committee in short order.
Parliament looked like it was interesting tonight. Very interesting.
Your mic was on, you know. I acknowledge you.
The point in my direction. All right, sir, I understand.
We'll pay attention to that.
All right, sir, I understand. Yeah, Northwest St. Catherine. Mr. Speaker, I too join with the leader of opposition business in the concern about the new practice of placing ministers on oversight committees. Indeed, Mr. President, while I acknowledge your statement that there will be, in short order, some review of the standing orders, even if that is reviewed, the concern is not removed. Mr. President, Mr. Speaker, we'll get used to it over the next 20 years. But Mr. Speaker, the fact of the matter is that I stand not on hostility to any individual, but out of loyalty to a process of democracy that has served us well. Mr. President, the Westminster system for which we practice has a fusion of power, Mr. Speaker, has a fusion of power which calls for the legislature and the executive to sit in the same house. That has allowed for efficiency of government, that has removed, in many cases, the probability of shutdowns that we have seen in other spaces across the world and gridlock. But that efficiency must also acknowledge and accept that there is a need and a purpose still for separation. That need and purpose cannot be ignored by the simple fact that the fusion... The speaker is speaking. Yes, as long as I'm being recorded. They answered, yes. So, Mr. President, Mr. Speaker, now that I have your attention, I want to reiterate that importance of separation. Mr. Speaker, what we have here with ministers being on oversight committees is that he or she that should be overseen is now offering oversight. The overseer is now overseeing themselves. And that not only is an affront to the process of democracy, but the perception of the public that there is light being shone in the direction and areas that they themselves are interested in.
I like the direction of this parliament are going in and out. I like it. And I like and share. Oh, you're nice.
Mr. Speaker, I don't want to hear me today. But Mr. Speaker, what we have recognized here is that almost every single committee has ministers on those committees. And in some cases, not only are they present, but they are chairing these committees. Indeed, it shifts the process from an arena of oversight to a ring of self-defense. Where persons therefore...
Brap. What I like I share what you're nice. You hear what we sound in the parliament now?
Indeed, those less exposed to the realities of democracy may argue that they can simply recuse themselves. But that does not solve the malice that exists. Indeed, ministers have a commitment to collective responsibility. And therefore, any single ministry in front of a committee is actually under his own supervision because he was a part of the plans, he was a part of the decision, and he was sworn to the duty of collective responsibility. When we look across the world, we recognize that this practice is frowned upon. In Britain itself, this practice is frowned upon.
Because Angela,
in Canada,
we
the practice is frowned upon. And recently in Australia, they said that even the majority of the government is a breach to the democratic process of oversight, and that the opposition should actually have majority for real and serious oversight. There can be no...
Look how them look. Look on them. Like Alice in a Wonderland. Look how them look. Them are come to the reality center 14, them are deal with again, you know.
Fundamental.
Look on them. They freeze.
And, you know, one of those who should be protecting oversight as a backbencher is now promoting not being a chair of any of those committees that is there. But, you know, I want you promoted. I'm going to stand on your behalf. But, Mr. President, Mr. President, the real purpose of the legislature is to protect the interest of the people from the abuse of power from the executive.
Of course.
And that is deflated and defeated by the proposals that we have heard here today.
Of course.
Therefore, Mr. President, Mr. Speaker, I ask the government and I ask you, sir, to review the proposals that are putting persons who are in the executive to also be, to be on the oversight committees. With that, Mr. Speaker.
Well said. All of them mind, you know. Them think of 14, them are deal with the same way, you know.
Member from West Central St. James.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have taken note of the submissions made, and I believe it is important to remind everyone who is listening that the standing orders themselves provide for their suspension. At standing order
get out of here.
6. Any one or more of these standing orders may, after notice or with the leave of the Speaker, be suspended on a motion. So where leave is requested and obtained and the standing orders have been suspended, Mr. Speaker, you can proceed. First point. It's just important to remember that the standing orders
Backbench. Go on back run at the back of the class to sit down. Backbench.
Standing order.
Go on run at the back of the class to sit down. Go put on back your dark glass.
Mr. Speaker.
Go run at the back of the class.
Mandate
Go on at the back of the class.
Committees.
Remember by them by for your seat, you say no talk. Go on at the back of the class to sit down.
At standing order 60.
I'm going to put on back your dark glass and look out of space.
And if we choose an example of one of the terms, the Economic and Production, Human Resource and Social Development and Infrastructure, Physical Development Committee, for example,
go and read to your senior citizen.
Mandates the receiving of submissions from citizens and organizing meetings between citizens, community groups, sectoral organizations, members of parliament, and representatives of government agencies to facilitate exchange of views on the operations of the government and their effect on communities and groups in the society. Mr. Speaker, you can, and members of the public may look on the mandate. Government is not just the political directorate. And when the executive makes policy and account to the legislature, the rest of government has to implement and execute those policies. And so it is not true to say that members of parliament on the government side cannot properly perform the functions that are set out.
Of course it is true.
Because they are on the government side.
Criminal.
It's not true to say that in a wholesale way and without exception.
But tell if you go on at the back of the class, what you mean, but it's a criminal. So you can't investigate on yourself, remember you're a thief. You're a criminal. So you feel hurt? Sorry to say you're a thief. Then by if you see it, go at the back of the class.
Because government is bigger than the political directorate.
Get out of here. God damn it. Go put on a dark glass and go stress. Then by your seat, you remember you're not a backbencher? Go and go warm up the back bench. Go warm up the back bench. Remember when you're a criminal. So we have concern. So we are come try. We are saying, Marlene Malafat. What are you saying? Go and go sit down at the back of the class. Put on your darkers and fret. On a thief. So we can't have this position. How we put for investigate on ourselves? Eh? Where is a blood clot King Peace Rat come from? Paul Island, King Peace Rat. Go on at the back of the class, go sit down, put on your darkers and fret. Get out of here. Watch him face.
No.
On a thief.
No. Members of the public are listening on. And regardless of the views,
a point of order. Mr. Speaker, this lady don't have a portfolio. She should run at the back bench and silent. This lady, if you stop her now, she don't nobody in the parliament now. She don't have a portfolio. She don't buy the seat gear just to have the majority, just to build up number in a parliament. This woman is none and void. A point of order.
Matters. Accuracy matters.
Get out of here.
I'm not saying the...
We have got to the point...
Sure, get out of here. God damn it. I want this King Peace right here. Eh? What wrong with this lady, though, God? Eh? Commercial break here, man. Something wrong with her. Commercial break here, man.
Well, this is the original Talk Your Mind TV. I'm Crazy J representing every time. Talk Your Mind, man, them know. I'm Mr. Circle talk your mind because you come for chat it up. Chat about Jamaica where the government mash up. Circle talk your mind because you're well dangerous. I me say corruption a lick and it a lick and it a lick. Me say corruption a lick, talk your mind, talk it. Me say corruption a lick and it a lick and it a lick. Me say corruption a lick, talk your mind, talk it. Hey, when corruption thing it a go stop.
I'm pull up the one that talk your mind TV. This one time music nice, you have to play it twice, but the amount of fat Marlene Mala who talk all time out, I want to have shit in shit up. I can't believe this.
And there is some modification that is required because what obtained in the jurisdiction that you inherited it from may be a little bit different. So the Westminster model of government that is practiced in the UK. In the UK, they have about 650 MPs, members of parliament. For a political party to be victorious, they need 326. But they only have about 120 ministers of government. Therefore, the legislature is not overrun by the executive, as is the case here, because we only have 63. And for a party to win, they need to get 32.
Big up yourself, my boss.
And what has happened in this particular instance is that majority of the members of the government side have been appointed to the executive, only leaving 5 of them on the backbenches. And that overrun of the legislature by the executive is what is at the root of this problem.
Educate them, my boss.
Because
Cliff was all the one that go fall up in your mouth.
Was to appoint committee members, and they were not going to utilize members, as is outlined in section 68(3), where it says that subject to the provisions of Standing Order number 71, a sessional select committee shall consist of not less than 6 members, including the chairman, none of whom shall be a minister or parliamentary secretary. That's what it states. The reason why they're having a difficulty is because they chose to place majority of their members as a part of the executive. And it has only left 5 members that would need to serve on all of the committees. And therefore, we're seeing this situation. Now, this is not the first time that the issue of separation of powers is coming up, and there is what seems to be a manifest breach of it. In its previous iteration, this JP government decided to put the Chief Justice on probation. Yes. And that triggered a lot of criticisms, including from members of the judiciary. Judges actually protested. The idea of us observing and being true to the doctrine of separation of powers is well established. And there's obviously good reason for it. It is not in an attempt to give prominence to members here. So the advocacy is not to give some position to members who are on this side. That's not what we're talking about. The idea, though, is to provide protection to the people of Jamaica so that their rights are not trampled upon.
Tell them about
it. Is clear that there, once you do not have the separation of powers, that you're going to concentrate too much authority in either an individual or a body. And that leads to the possibility of corruption and tyranny.
Of course.
That is clear. Now, in order for us, we love it, man, and I want you to also love it and shun it. Mr. Speaker, it is a previous leader of the Labour Party, a previous Prime Minister of the Labour Party, that took a decision as well that it is members of the opposition that should chair the committees. The idea that when the Labour Party had 49 members, that they would have been more active has been proven to be false. Because during the preceding 5 years, we had less meeting than the 5 years before that they complained about.
Look at all broke kitchen. Look at first on all creature. Watch it,
most people make reference of things that they don't even know. It's like the Ethiopian eunuch. Do they even know of the things of which they speak? No, they don't. This has nothing to do with 20 years ago. Absolutely nothing to do with that. This has to do with the separation of powers to prevent the concentration of too much power in a single individual or body, and to ensure that the rule of law is supreme. That's what this is about.
Of course.
And so, Mr. Speaker, our Constitution and our democracy rests on the doctrine of the separation of power. This is to prevent the corrosive dangers of corruption,
of course,
and exploitation.
Of course.
We all must stand resolute
to
prevent such an eventuality.
Of course. Big up yourself, brap. What them talking about, them things are still 14 we have.
St. Andrew Southern.
Them think are still 14 we have. They never prepare for this, you know. The Prime Minister, where you say now, my boss? Shh.
Thank you,
Prime Minister,
Mr.
talking
Speaker.
now. Shh.
Mr. Speaker,
silent. The Prime Minister talking
in
now.
the first sitting of the new Parliament, on her appointment as Speaker, the member for East Rural, St. Andrew, indicated a determination to adhere to the standing orders in how this Parliament would be conducted. The two standing orders which are engaged in this discussion are Standing Order 68.3 and Standing Order 75.3.
Listen, my boss, I talk.
68.3, as has been read, essentially says that these sessional select committees, which we're appointing today, should not include among their membership ministers or parliamentary secretaries. It is a fundamental standing order which supports good governance in our democracy.
Of course. Hear, hear.
This is not about quibbling whether a question is in fact a statement or you're speaking a bit too long and the sort of things that often engage the Speaker at any given point in time in the cut and thrust of parliamentary proceedings. This is about the separation of powers, about accountability in governance, and about how Parliament should have appropriate checks and balances
of course.
For executive excess.
Of course.
And that is why these sessional committees, which are review and oversight committees, are supposed to be established without the presence of persons from the executive thereon. There is no issue about government MPs being on them, and in fact, the rules provide for the government MPs providing a majority of the members of these committees. And it's based on the balance in a given parliament from time to time. That's in the standing orders. And while in Australia we heard they may think that that is not an ideal situation, it is what governs our parliament. The issue is executive influence, undermining the efficacy and transparency of oversight functions of Parliament in our democracy.
Hear, hear. Listen with Prime Minister.
I'd also say that the way this motion was put, did not make any reference to any suspension of the standing orders. There was a suspension of the standing orders to enable the motion to be put. But the substance of the motion simply said, notwithstanding 68.3 and so on. Notwithstanding 68.3. Notwithstanding, it was repeated for each one of the elements of the motion. There was no invocation of the suspension of standing orders.
Listen to the General, no man.
And furthermore, I think it's an abuse of the standing order that provides for the suspension thereof for a fundamental standing order which is expressed in terms which precludes and prohibits a course of action to be pursued by invoking the provision that says that standing orders may be temporarily suspended. That is an abuse of that provision, and that's not the intention of that provision.
Yeah, they're here.
The other standing order which is fundamental to this discussion is 75.3, and that deals with how chairmen are to be appointed for these sessional select committees. And it says that a select committee may elect a chairman from among its members. Therefore, for the leader of government business to purport today to determine who will be chairing these committees is ultra vires the rules of this House and ultra vires this particular standing order. There is nothing in the standing orders that authorize any departure from the provision that the members of the committee are to elect their chairman in relation to any of these committees, save and except those which specifically provide that the chairman is to be a particular individual. And there are a few like that. So, for example, the committee that deals with standing orders says in 70 subsection 2 says that the Speaker shall be a member and chairman of that committee. Similarly, the House committee also says that the minister in charge of arranging the business of the House shall be a member and the chairman of the House committee. And the Privileges Committee also says, the provisions there say that the Speaker shall be a member and the chairman of the Committee of Privilege. Those are the three where the standing order specifically authorized, in the case of the House committee, that the minister in charge of arranging the business of the House shall be. That is the only exception to the rule in the standing orders that ministers are not to be on these committees. So where we're heading today is a breach of the standing order.
Flight green.
Is a breach of the principles of checks and balances in our democracy and should not be supported.
Take it to Andrew and lick pan your nose today.
At the first sitting of this Parliament, I raised the issue of the chairmanship of these committees in light of the comment made by the Prime Minister at his swearing-in ceremony, invoking the spirit of partnership. And I said that if, as part of that partnership, we were hoping and expecting the reintroduction of a convention that had been established under a JLP government when Prime Minister was Bruce Golding, that exhorted the members of the committees then to appoint an opposition member to chair the committees. It worked well. It was an improvement on our democracy, and it did not violate the standing orders because the specific standing order, 75.3, allows that choice to be made by the members. When Portia Simpson-Miller, the Most Honourable, became Prime Minister under the PNP government of 2012, we did not depart from that convention. To the contrary, we saw that it was an enhancement of our democracy, and we elected to follow it. And it has worked well. When the Jamaica Labour Party was returned to office in 2016, for that first term, they too, under Andrew Holness as Prime Minister, followed that convention.
Now when it start Theif and change
the 2020 election,
when it fucker start Theif and change
from that convention, and it was justified, in quotes, it was justified on the premise that the committees weren't performing adequately and that they would perform much more efficaciously if the government controlled the committees through appointing the chair. So the government has the majority on the committees, and the government appoints the chairman of the committees. That is the antithesis of oversight. As a member, the newly minted member for Northwest St. Catherine said, that is not an arena of accountability. That is a ring of self-defense. Of
course, a self-defense we don't put up for themselves. So Marlon Malaho,
so,
go
Mr.
sit
Speaker,
yourself down. And
it
chat
was
again
a
in our
strong
Parliament.
sense of disappointment,
of course,
that I speak in this debate on this motion. I am extremely alarmed and disappointed,
of course,
that the government is proceeding down this
same dirty path,
undemocratic path,
Andrew,
in violation of the standing orders. I urge them to reconsider this, as we will not support this
Never.
motion. Thank you.
Tell them. Tell them.
Member from St. Catherine South Western.
Mr. Speaker, the hypocrisy.
Just turn one of the mics off, please.
The hypocrisy that one hears coming from that side. The leader of opposition, who shall remain there, maintains that he codes Mr. Speaker,
backbencher.
I will not be distracted
backbencher
by a member
backbencher
who got beaten in central Manchester,
backbencher
South Manchester to seek refuge. I ran in southwest St. Catherine all the while. Win all the while. The large government. So please.
Backbencher. Backbencher.
He mentioned standing orders 75-3. Okay? And it says.
How would that? The man I grab to it when I stand back
May. You don't say it has to be.
I grab up man.
It says May.
Mr. Grabber.
Okay? It's 68-3 said, subject to provision of standing order number 71. A sessional select committee shall consist of not less than 6 members, including chairman, none of whom shall be minister or parliamentary secretary. All right? So, you can always amend.
Stop and answer on clean.
I came here. Hold on.
Clean. Go around and go on the back bench.
And the only other 2 members who served here since then was...
You couldn't have been born in our Parliament.
Minister
Mr.
Bartlett.
Laugh off him.
Okay? And since then, they've always always maintained. And his government...
Well, if you are ground up in a burying ground.
Standing order 75. He approved on his government.
Get out of here.
Constantly. So why it's so convenient today? Hold on, man. Hold on.
Backbencher.
You
don't wait.
On committees while you were government. And there were ministers who sat on those committees and chaired those committees. He said, notwithstanding, and you hypocrites support it then, leave it then.
Get out of here.
That's a minute. It has not been changed. No. It has not been changed.
Member.
Bruce Golding came here.
Member.
Get out of here.
Look here.
Backbencher.
You're rising on a point of...
The language of hypocrites and pointing to us is unparliamentary, and I urge a member to withdraw.
Withdraw what? Withdraw. What is that withdraw? Hypocrites? Well, all right. I won't say hypocrite. I say hypocritical behaviors. Hypocritical behaviors. There's no way in this standing order that opposition members must chair committee in this house. No way in the world does it happen. Bruce Golding came here, made that statement. It's not written inside of here. We are guided by this. It was not amended. It was not amended to reflect that opposition members chair committee. He made that statement. Okay? Unless it is written inside here, hypocritical statements from that side must be rejected. Don't come with that. You voted for it.
Sit down.
You voted for it.
Sit down. We're stay on our back bench.
You who met our Mark Golden. Look here. Don't let me go further than that.
Members. Are you
Mr.
through?
Speaker, Dayton, shut your
Member.
mouth. Crystal,
Member.
thing up, so you have to go seek refuge. Don't talk to me. I don't run.
Member from St. Catherine South Western. Remember, you're not allowed to refer to any member by name.
Even the white one?
Yes, so could Warmington, but even the white one.
Why must say that there?
Even the white one. Yes, so could Warmington. Make you not go suck on your cock. Make you give you a lap jar. You fucking brag.
Member from South,
even the white one.
St. Catherine Southeastern.
What piece of junk or shitbag is this?
St. Clarendon Southeastern, sorry.
And so cock till you confused, you know. The cock fly up in our head. When you got a lodge on Tuesday, amount of cock in suck. You not talk no time in the parliament. When you go back to parliament for the rest of the week.
I've listened to the
commentary
from colleagues. And I want to make it very clear.
How would that?
That the past arrangements must be seen for what they were.
Colonel Charles, Jezebel daughter.
Accommodations, not any
Oh yes, Colonel Charles, Jezebel daughter.
And that must be very, very clear.
Look at this Jezebel.
In this democracy, our
democratic
architecture allows for Parliament's function
you're not a real liar, no,
in
brother.
a manner consistent.
You're not a real liar, you know.
But with the
so stop
sovereign
and stop wanting to get intelligent. You're not a real liar.
Who made certain decisions.
Present yourself like you think you're somebody. You're not a real liar.
The decisions.
If you want a good liar, you have to look over the PNP side.
For the composition of Parliament.
Stop talk like you're intelligent. You have
always
go back.
has at least one side.
Watch man, this piece of shit bag.
Whether slim or wide. And because of the democracy, you do have conventions, but you have the flexibility as things evolve to review, restructure, and to make decisions.
You like the flexibility. That is why your daughter, your sister and your father kiss up so. And that's the flexibility you're talking about. Eh?
And I would say that the decisions made in terms of the chairmanship as they are now reflect an effective balance.
No, go ahead.
You see the PAC and the PAAC still chaired by the opposition, and those are the committees that have specific connectivity to financial
not trustworthy.
While the others are more policy and legislative, and those are actually effectively chaired by the government and may lead to greater balance and efficiency.
They want to investigate themselves.
And I'm glad that the members said what he said a while ago, that it's my interpretation, and that is what is allowed in a democracy. A democracy, permit me.
You don't know nothing about democracy.
Democracy is not static.
What you talking about democracy?
It is a creature, it is evolving. And as long as whatever you are effectively doing does not offend or contribute the standing order, the laws, or the Constitution.
Colonel Charles, Jezebel daughter turn up and talk about democracy.
Permit me.
You have your opinion, and I listen.
That is it.
Listen to me, and then
I was
thereafter
shitting off
you
your
can
mouth.
tell me
Can't be
if
a
I'm
shit
speaking
come out.
foolishness.
I was shitting
Now,
off your mouth.
As I was saying, Mr. Speaker, as long as it does not contravene the standing order,
We're not thief. Get out of here.
it is the governing party,
This
the
office scrap.
majority
We're
in the
not support
parliament
it.
that has the responsibility
not
of making
supporting
decisions in how
So,
best
all right,
to
go on,
consider
preacher.
the efficiency of the committees.
Go on, preacher.
Now the question,
They could have talked from now
the
till
question
that
then
kingdom come. We still not support
is if we
it.
see this to be improved coordination and a balance, because we still have the opposition chairing two of the committees, particularly the critical ones.
Go and say what I'm saying now. And I'm done.
Then the question is whether
no matter what you and every government
offends or
say,
contravenes
I will stand by
standing
my
order.
word. I will
In my
stand by what
opinion,
Mark Golan say.
Mr. Speaker, it was noted that the member spoke to Section 75.
Yeah.
And the country must be very clear in understanding the distinction in law and legislative interpretation between the words may and shall.
I saw them check people
here, where
him
it
sister
says
run off
may,
now, say I'm a dentist.
that is a discretion.
You want to be
Discretion
dentist
meaning
sister?
there's no obligation. As I said before,
You want to be dentist sister? The only teacher ever pull out that one in her dummy when she practice.
By the opposition
Come on Jamaica about the dentist. Dentist where?
Entitlement.
What you know about
Almost
last
as if
Sunday,
they
boy?
believe there's a parliamentary entitlement to chair. There is none. There is none. There is none.
You think it out now, take a book at a pint of 75.
The other matter.
Watch out.
The other matter
You want to look
relates
now.
then
Figure Cliff Hughes content.
to the issue.
A Cliff Hughes might be the one of now, you know. Watch out.
68.
A Cliff Hughes might be this one.
I want clearly to understand what the point of order is, please.
Just a minute.
We don't understand what you're saying. We speak and understand what you're saying.
So, Mr. Speaker,
You want to understand clearly. Uncle Lang into that. So you not talk clearly.
Separate matters that are being discussed. One is about chairmanship, and the other is around the membership.
All right, my mother, Bob's
and
the
in what he
I'm
has
mother,
said just now,
Angela Brown.
Listen, no, a point of order to the point of order. A point of order to that point of order.
Hey, Parliament, hey. Parliament are got nice. Angela, big up his Parliament, nice, man. Andrew, you miss out. Andrew, afraid that is a heat, you know. Can't come chat on top and vice again, you know.
Have been raised, Mr. Speaker, and in what the member is saying,
Andrew and Juliet and the rest of them are trying to build up on champ to come in a parliament.
and confusing them. In addition,
we're going to walk with live in our pocket for no blood clot.
In addition,
there has been
no entitlement that
Hey, I want to switch. Hey, boy, you are. Hey, I switch off the mic. And that's out of Parliament, you know. What kind of switch off mic? You right. You right, don't push your luck.
Member from Clarendon Southeastern.
Do not push your luck.
Member from Clarendon Southeastern.
It is alleged some whole drugs things mixed up.
You may continue.
You are Clark.
You know,
it is
Mr.
alleged
Speaker,
drugs things mixed up with your name, you know. Are people who associate with,
submissions, you know.
So you behave yourself, you know.
In any way, people know.
People know what? He says a drag queen.
Seen as trying to be
look a midget,
but rather bringing clarity to the country.
Which clarity?
You can agree or you can disagree.
Which clarity?
But when you rise to say a point of order,
Sit
it
down.
must have a fundamental ground as a point of order. That was not. So let me move on. I was bringing us.
We've got passion, we've got determination.
Sit yourself down. Commercial break. But warm to perennial charge, drag queen. What the hell wrong with this young man, this young lady? His head shine like young ackee seed. He's out.
Well, this is the original Talk Your Mind TV. I'm Crazy J representing every time. Talk Your Mind, remember? I'm Mr. Circle talk your mind because you come for chat it up. Chat about Jamaica where the government was up. Circle talk your mind because you're well dangerous. And me say corruption, a lick and it a lick and it a lick. Me say corruption, a lick, talk your mind, talk it. Me say corruption, a lick and it a lick and it a lick. Me say corruption.
Easy now, man. Easy now, man. Tornado discharge, bro.
Member. I had asked the House leader to speak.
Breaking news, tornado destroy Trinidad and Tobago right now. But I think it is not natural. I think it's something them plan for destroy the infrastructure to set them back. For come with them digital aid. Money, them digital money for aid.
I'll send you the link.
Before I know some of that plan to do our next live. I plan to do our next live. But from the Parliament Street, my broadcast of Parliament. But tornado mash up over so Jamaica, prepare, remember I country and money, Andrew Theif, everything. So as Parliament done, we're gonna start back the next live and show you what going on at Trinidad. Lord have mercy. You prepare Jamaican people. All who live to the seaside, wanna go to higher grounds because something is about to happen in the Caribbean where these people who have their hype and resources are going to come and help it, so them come bail me out with them digital money. Wanna look out. Them plan something for the Caribbean. But get back to Parliament. Because remember, I'm there on holiday, so as this done, I'm going to start the next live. Because I have something queued up to show now. Back to the Parliament.
The reason that your mic came on is that I had turned off his mic first when the other member was speaking, and you put your mic on, so you get the go ahead. I am now asking the House Leader to speak, and then you.
You will hear. Members.
Here.
Oh, Julian?
Julian told us.
No, that's the point.
No, I didn't see my Andrew.
Hello.
Parliament.
I'm not
waiting. No. You know, see them read out one investigation by Integrity Commission.
All right, so Mr. Speaker, I have heard the members who have contributed to the debate thus far, and I am aware that there are more members who have indicated that they want to contribute and can't hide it. We know it's a thing tough time. At the Ministry time and investigation, and we can speak by the Integrity Commission. But as I have gotten up a couple of things, Mr. Speaker, and I say this one to the members in general, as this is our first official business day of the Parliament. I do agree that the standing orders provides the guide, and I will ask that when people quote from the standing orders, that they read the provision in full. Because if they don't do that, they may take out a part to try and give an...
So you think you read it in full better than the people's and the PNP side? Remember, buy for your seat to come back in a Parliament, you know. Exactly. Remember, Miranda lick your street and lane over Senti, you know. Nobody who buy their seat come back to Parliament can chat to you, you know. Remember, you never win. You buy your seat. People dip their finger in ink overnight for you. Remember, most of the people that vote for you are from the night before election and vote for you in a shit bag. So you just take time to talk and we know what's going on.
Impression that is false. So when the leader of opposition, the member, read the provision in relation to the selection of committees, he framed it in a particular manner. It says, except as otherwise provided by these orders or by special direction of the House, a select committee may elect a chairman from the members. He never mentioned the first area of the provision, especially the special direction of the House in which we sit as a route through which chairmen of committees can be chosen. I will not say it was purposely misleading, but I will ask the members.
Flight Green, we buy your seat. I know not try hard to cover the criminal them in a parliament back. But this time around, on a 14 we have. And say, when Mark Golden says something, it we are work with. And anything Mark Golden say, I laugh away. Remember Mark Golden we work with. And if him say now work with it, it have to go back to the original state where it used to be before Andrew changed it in a 2020. It did operate, it did function good before 2020 in a dirty Flight Green. But when Andrew wanted to start Theif, and change it. Because he might try to put people in some place to guard them. So we know, we understand. So therefore, if Mark Golden say him not support it, we just not support it. You don't care what you want come say here so. Remember on a 14 I work with again. So it have to go back to the original stage where it used to function, where all we used to work with it. If it not go back to the original stage, sorry to say, we will not support this.
To read the provisions in full, or they may give a wrong impression. The other thing that I say to all the members, especially those who've been around for longer than I have been around, there are some conventions that have been established over time. And those conventions are so well established that when the House prepares the documentation for these committees, it is actually included in the documentation. One of those conventions...
Flight Green, we are not getting on my G. You have to understand, say, we know so on a thief. Andrew Holness, you yourself a thief, Juliet Holness a thief, Delra. We know on a thief. So, it could have worked the way we do it, you know, if we never did a one thief. But we can't trust on a thief, on a proven so on a thief. Saying? So, I just show what Prime Minister Mark Golden I want to tell you now, like how me I tell you now. So because Mark Golden a pretty tough bumblehole. And the reason why we have problem with it is because we is a group of thief.
Have to do with ministers of state. And the fact that ministers of state have sat on many a select committee, including committees in the last session on which the opposition sat and did not complain. And that is why...
You talk one time we have 14. Remember when we sitting there with 14, you need make nothing more mistake and them still have to use the majority and pass it. When this a dirty shit bag, why Mark Golden never contest it? Because when they use the 14 and contest anything, only use the majority and pass it. But now, like how we have 24, we are going to tell Dirty Think Andrew, say the way he used to operate before him change it, we need to operate like that. Why we don't have a problem with it, how did it operate all of a sudden? And I like something wrong with it, you know. And then just get about the blows and have a problem with it. Because them decide them have to start thief now. So they have a problem with it. Eh?
Why? That is why the motions are written in a manner that says notwithstanding. And because
go slow motion for Andrew Big Nose.
Where is he keep talking?
Go and go slow motion for Andrew Big Nose. Go slow motion. Watch it fuck him out.
What the member from Eastern Westmoreland said rightly, that as a small parliament, we have to look at some of the conventions that have been used to ensure that you can
work with it like
as a government. That is why the provision for notwithstanding...
Flight Green, remember when you're on the battlefield or something, when Atta for the press text you say, oh, tell me, say, you know it's Andrew a thief, you know. You remember you look on the text and laugh, and we say, you can give you information and when I must tell you, you give it. You remember? When you're on the battlefield? So we know, so you know Andrew is a fucking thief, you know. Well, the way how you laugh, Flight Green. Like you say, I thought for the person easy, you know. Say attention. You remember, say attention, I thought for the person look. And you could have passed it, you know. But through the attention grab you. Because I thought for the person something when you know true. You remember how you did laugh? You remember you did laugh? Buy your seat. People vote for you overnight.
Standing Order 68.3 has been maintained from before I was in this parliament.
Yeah,
in fact, from before I was
COVID
born.
rule, Delroy.
And opposition
in a hotel.
and government in the spirit of working together. Opposition and government in the spirit of working together.
We can't work together with not
even in the last sitting,
light and
the last term of Parliament, in the spirit of working together, opposition and government have worked together on this. And that is why people like
Barbara,
member,
no matter what they want to say.
Member, State Minister Witter would have chaired the Regulations Committee in the last term. That is why Member Main would have been on multiple commissions, and this opposition.
Flight Green, no matter how you, no matter the fuck how you want to preach. Remember, we know Andrew Wallace a thief. We know Andrew Wallace put gag order. So the way how Andrew Wallace channel the Parliament is just to protect Uno. So Mark Golan has said, now work with it, how it stay now. It have to go back to the original stage where it used to stay. What is the big deal? If we don't really want to move forward with transparency in it and good governance, what is the big deal? And because we still want to continue with the same always and that pretends, so we don't deal with good governance. Eh? What happened to these criminals? Chrissy, welcome back again, you know. Big up yourself. What the hell wrong with these criminals?
This opposition under the same leadership, the same leader of opposition, business.
And who you trying to convince?
No issue.
And we are, remember, you know,
that the opposition.
We are trying to convince. Remember, at 14 with having a parliament. So, no matter what we did say, Andrew do him feel like because him have the majority at the time. So we are going to talk about the same up. At the same opposition, have the majority, have strong in number now. I tell you, say, watch this, brother. We only did that do a fuck criminal work with it. It's simple, you know. We Prime Minister Mark Golan get up and say, watch this, brother. Me see what I do from the past 5 years. But because we only did have 14 members of Parliament. It no matter what I say, because through no corrupt, you not going to work with them, I say. You just going to use the majority and do what I do. So stop purling about the opposition did I work with it. Remember, Andrew is a thief. And you would have one thief to go when the World Bank president come. He and him did on his hands. Me did I watch you when the World Bank president come, you know, Flight Green. You remember look bit after that, Beryl come fuck up Jamaica. You remember how you deal with the farmer them a sent it? Till Miranda come lick your street and lane, and you go down, they gonna make the people them vote for you overnight, dip finger in the ink. Eh? Remember me that watch you from AJ Banker, the World Bank president come to Jamaica. And I talk say one hurricane can destroy the GDP in double digit and everything is to disappear. And we really say Beryl can disappear some things. The farming in St. Elizabeth, people all stop. And on a thief up the money and them up pay.
Must reflect as to whether we are going to truly work together in a spirit of cooperation. I'll make 2 more points and then I'll indicate my intention. No.
I want your point to Andrew Nose. Flight Green, I want your point to Andrew Nose and give him 1 lick penny with sitting. Just point to it and lick it like you see a mosquito upon his nose. Yeah, man. Use a piece of leather belt and cut it short. and point his nose and give him one lick on his nose with it for me.
There is a fallacy that is paraded around as to whether the committees function better under opposition rule, chairmanship, which was a brief point in our history. And when I looked at the functioning of the committees in relation to how many times they met, it is very hard to discern the difference between when the opposition was in charge of the committees and when the government was in charge of the committees. In fact, with a committee like the Ethics Committee, between 2012 and 2015, it met nine times. It met 9 times. A committee under the change during that same 3-year period between 2016 and 2020, it met 15 times.
In a 3-year, it met 15 times. What you hear the members speaking of is that it depends on the amount of work that the committee has to do. The additional point couple months back, you know, them would have chatted, you know, and use the majority and pass it, you know. But now they never on preaching and I try to convince we. And that's why I want now. And that's the dynamic of the parliament, it changed. And that's it changed.
By
a level playing field, and see it.
We have
now them have to out here preach.
The opposition.
Them have to out here preach now.
Public Accounts Committee.
These shit back where they
and the PAAC.
And that have to out here preach now. You know, see Theif in one not coming to Parliament.
When you look at the UK system, there is only one committee chaired by the opposition, and that's the Public Accounts.
The difference between the UK government and Jamaican government, they don't have any Theif inside. And if as somebody breach, them have to resign. So you can't run a comparison with the UK government. Because the UK government don't full up a Theif. Nobody in the UK government not get charged with illicit enrichment. Nobody in the UK government on investigation for illicit enrichment. So you can't use a comparison with the UK government because the UK government don't have a thief and criminal. So you cannot use a comparison with the UK government. Better you compare one government in Africa. Because Africa have some local corrupted politician like Andrew. So you cannot use UK government as a comparison, my friend. Because the member of parliament in the UK government, they are not thief. That is a big difference. They are not thief. The member of parliament in the UK government, them uphold the constitution. So you can't, there's no way on earth, Christy, this clown can want to use the UK government as comparison for this joke, this rubbish when them claim say them run as government. Eh? So this guy is sick. And you have to stop misleading the people them and don't use UK as no comparison. Because, as me I say, the UK government don't have any Theif inside. So that is a big difference. But what am I say?
Only one committee. And the reason for that, Mr. Speaker,
tell me reason.
Is that despite what has been said by the members, committees like the production, the human resources, the economy and production committee, the infrastructure committee, are established to ensure that the policy direction of the government is being implemented through its ministries and agencies.
You want somebody tie your blue necktie and one donkey and drag you out of the parliament.
Again, and it is not by chance that the PAC and the PAAC, remember the PAC is the committee that has Auditor General reports to, and the PAAC that always had embedded in it a strong oversight responsibility were chaired
You
by the
finished
opposition.
that, brother?
So, as the member from West Central, St. James, indicated, when you look at the definition of the committees and what they're called upon to
relevant in this conversation.
For you to believe
you finished
that a member of the government could not effectively chair that committee,
remember when I worked with Marlene a backbencher?
False assertion.
Marlene Malawa backbencher.
So,
so what
there
you
are
say?
Other points, Mr. Speaker.
And Mr. All right. With Prime Minister Mark Gordon not support it.
I will say, I will say.
What you say?
I will say this thing. I will say this thing.
Hurry up.
Because, Mr. Speaker, I want us to embark on this journey with a sort of sameness of purpose.
Not fucking sameness of purpose.
That the people
don't use them ready to about sameness of purpose. We don't want to hear blood clot
is
that.
Here to
we
work
working with it.
With the opposition.
We not work with that.
Appreciate it.
We're not working with the way how this thing is structured. An argument done.
On every single committee, on every single committee.
It no matter where you want to say.
Listen up when you're out at night.
It no matter where you want to say, no, brother. It just don't matter what you want to say. We not work with that. And it done. It no matter what you want to say. Could I talk from now till thy kingdom come? We just not work with what you deal with.
We're on. When I spoke to my opposition counterpart, even though he did indicate some misgivings in relation to the chairmanship, right? I thought that the other matters that they have raised, which especially the ones which they as government, when they were government, were accorded those privileges, I think maybe it is the moment they are utilizing. So what I will do, I will suspend the debate. I will have a discussion with the leader of opposition.
I want to just understand this, you know, and see how the opposition leader is powerful in the parliament now, you know. Couple months back, he would suspend the debate. They would have used their majority and pass it. I want to not follow, you know. But this time around, he must go wheel and come again. So he must suspend it. I want to follow Black Beauty. Trevor, pick up on yourself. I want to follow. You know what I go on. Listen.
Short business, so that when we come back here, hopefully we are in. Hopefully we are in.
But may I tell you this from now, Flight Green. I know we're going back to review this thing where you come with. In the current farm we're in now, we will never support it like that. It have to go back to the original stage where it did work fine before Andrew wanted to decide to say he want to change it. So if we now bring it back to the original farm, don't bring it back to the parliament. Because we will not support it. And that is final. So say what you say.
We are in one accord. Additionally, as I said when I started, I urge the leader of opposition business and the leader of the opposition that things that they accorded within the past, as soon as the term before us, committees that they sat on with composition of state ministers, don't use this opportunity to grandstand, but let us work.
Hey, gonna name some shit. At 28 we have now. Because we have the majority, most of the things whether them did agree yes or no, only that do or not do. So them did a freestyle. But now them can fully represent we in a parliament now. So don't expect if we still have the same privilege like a couple months back. Flight Green, I don't know what you're smoking, but anything you smoke, it don't good for your health, it don't good for your mental health, because right now it sounds like you live a different reality. from the current one where we are live now. So come back to reality and just face the issue at hand. 28 we have a parliament now. So go wheel and come again. On your way out, give Andrew Holness this piece of information. Yeah? Tell him say things change. Tell him say things change.
Together. So, Mr. Speaker, I ask for the suspension of the debate and we will continue.
Jeez, hey. Big up on yourself. The opposition leader. Mark Golding, the Prime Minister. Big up yourself, my Prime Minister Mark Golding. You see them have to suspend it. They have to suspend it. Because they don't have the majority to do nothing. So think that if Flight Green want to talk about work together. Work together. Everything one need to try could you screen show. You have to scrap everything and start afresh. Everything you have to start afresh. Because remember, it's a level playing field now. You don't have the majority to do what you feel like do. So you have to get used to it. So Flight Green, get used to it. Get used to it. Babsy Grange, get used to it. Desmond Dottie Mackenzie, we see I got beat you like a bitch, make you be a good boy. Get used to it. Just get Andrew Honest, just pass on the message to Andrew Honest. Here, sir. I make him know that things change. Here, sir. Babsy, you love each up around Andrew, you know. Tell him that things change. Tell him say no skimmage football now, a big league. English league footballer now. You understand? This is not a schoolboy thing, an English league football now. So, when he come in our parliament, he must know what he do. He must prepare. And know what he do because finally, we
members,
have the opposition
members,
really can represent the in the right and proper way.
The motion is on the floor for a suspension.
So,
those in favor? Those
the
against?
real Jamaican, don't worry, man. Jamaica cleansing himself from corruption. I'm not going to look what going on in the parliament. It just start. This is day one. This is day one. Mark it on the calendar. Is here? They use the Muslims over here. You can't do it again.
To do any further business
shitbag.
Today,
Flight Green.
I ask for the adjournment until next week.
The request is on the floor for the sitting of this house to be adjourned until next week, Tuesday.
Where does that come from?
Those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? The ayes have it. This house now stands adjourned.
What a life. Eh? What a life. Eh? What a life. Watch the man. Only looking at parliament. Look at that. Then can't use no majority and nothing again. Them have to wheel and come again. As me I say, uno pass on the news to Andrew Holness. Uno pass on the news to Andrew Holness and Tufton and Bigfoot Juliet Holness. Tell him that things change in the parliament. Juliet think you can come in the parliament with the Jezebel style again. I remember when I want to see as now speaker of the house, you know. So all of that have to go change too. Soon and very soon. So the first day of parliament, it's very interesting. So I hope you see the power with the opposition leader have now. So then John Kerry now have to go back, go on the drawing board again and come again. Them need to hope say them could have push through this and pass it. It can't pass because it's a level playing field in the parliament. Only not feel good. Only not feel good. So what we are going to do now, we are going to hold them accountable for give the people them 32,000 a week. What them promise. They must give the people them 32,000 a week when they promise. We want to see that. So, I go jump off, and jump on back for a while because I want to get my phone connected to the laptop. So, I have to jump off, connect my phone to the laptop. So, I'm going to get some refreshing, circle down, and start back about the next half hour. Yeah, by 12 o'clock, I start back. Big up on yourself, you hear that? It was a beautiful day in a parliament, I must admit. So, Chrissy, welcome back. On the 14th of the month here, my birthday celebration, I got it right on the channel here. It's going to be a difference. Me and my old lady, Earth Strong. It's going to be a buzz. It's going to be a vibe. See me? I'm there on holiday, you know, so anything goes. So big up on yourself, all die-hearted Talk Your Mind fans. I know we just come out to come talk with mine, and we don't care if we're feeling it on earth, because we just a talk with mine. See? That's my right to talk my mind. We need no permission to talk with mine, though. Yeah, man, probably do the right thing and keep it real. Love and love alone. So big up everybody who they here, and stay tuned, because in a moment, I soon jump back on. Chrissy, as I say again, enough love here. Yeah, man, look more.
Talk Your Mind TV, I mean, the artist news, artist review, and the baddest TV channel right across the world globe. Watch this, man, Talk Your Mind TV, watching the man, them are hot up TikTok. Talk Your Mind TV, them are hot up Facebook. Talk Your Mind TV, them are hot up Instagram. Talk Your Mind TV, hot on YouTube. Talk Your Mind TV, all over the globe. Family love Talk Your Mind TV, baby, say God oh God. Don't subscribe to Talk Your Mind TV and say God oh God. Just press the like button for Talk Your Mind TV and say God oh God. I stay God upon them. Our sister share and like Talk Your Mind TV. You over there.
Never been seeing this yet. I dare you before my meeting take I never see it yet.
Please subscribe. Yeah, you pretty, yeah, me please, me I beg you subscribe. Yes, and you in the set here, yeah, we I beg you like. Yeah, touch the share button.